Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief Show. I'm your host, Jenny. Today, we're diving into a fascinating blend of history and modernity with a new architectural gem in Tai Kok Tsui. Inside One Bedford Place, architect Frank Leung has created a 26-story tower that's a love letter to old Hong Kong, featuring mosaic tiles, neon lights, and bamboo scaffolding that evoke the city's vibrant culture. This space isn't just about looks, it's a cultural celebration, with interiors and amenities inspired by local traditions, making it a truly unique spot where nostalgia meets contemporary style. Next up, big news for the e-commerce world. Thanks to a temporary US-China tariff reprieve, companies like Shein and Temu now have a crucial 90-day window to restock their US warehouses. While tariffs on individual shipments remain, bulk shipping helps them stay competitive and ready for the holiday rush. Retail giants like Amazon are also eyeing this opportunity to plan ahead, ensuring they're well-stocked for the upcoming festive season. It's a short-term win that could mean big things for online shoppers and sellers alike. And in the world of science and education, Professor Mok Ngaiming is making waves as China becomes a magnet for top mathematicians. Mok's groundbreaking work in complex geometry and his advocacy for innovation over rote learning highlight China's growing investment in STEM. His research not only advances science but also underscores the importance of interdisciplinary studies and a broad worldview. Mok's journey shows how China is fostering a new generation of thinkers who are shaping the future of mathematics and beyond. Please continue to watch for more detailed insights. South China Morning Post takes us inside One Bedford Place, a striking new office tower in Tai Kok Tsui, Hong Kong, that pays homage to the city's vibrant vernacular heritage. Architect Frank Leung and his team meticulously infused the design with nostalgic elements, neon signs, mosaic tiles, and metal letterboxes, drawing inspiration from the bustling streets and industrial history of the area. The lobby's dramatic black marble staircase, reminiscent of industrial scaffolding, sets a bold tone, while copper scaffolding and wooden lift gates evoke the city's traditional craftsmanship. The building's communal spaces, including a clubhouse, feature Hong Kong-style banquettes, wire mesh windows, and furniture crafted from woven plastics and mahjong tiles, creating an immersive experience that celebrates local culture without resorting to mere imitation. Leung emphasizes a nuanced approach, integrating classic motifs subtly into contemporary settings, to evoke a sense of nostalgia while maintaining modern functionality, making the building a living tribute to Hong Kong's unique urban identity. The South China Morning Post also reports on the recent US-China tariff agreement, which offers a crucial 90-day reprieve for e-commerce giants like Shein and Temu. With tariffs temporarily reduced from 145% to 30%, these companies now have a window to replenish their U.S. warehouses by shipping in bulk, thus avoiding steep costs and potential disruptions during the upcoming holiday season. This pause in tariff escalation allows them to adapt their supply chains, either by direct shipments from China or bulk imports, while maintaining their competitive edge in the U.S. market. The policy shift provides a strategic breathing space that could enable these firms to sustain their rapid growth and market share, even as broader trade tensions and tariff policies remain uncertain. Meanwhile, Amazon's new offerings in the UK and Saudi Arabia suggest a broader trend of adapting to changing trade dynamics, highlighting the importance of flexible logistics and strategic inventory management in the global e-commerce landscape. Finally, South China Morning Post explores the inspiring journey of Professor Mok Ngaiming, a leading mathematician whose work exemplifies China's rising prominence in the sciences. Mok's groundbreaking contributions to complex differential geometry, including his proof of the Ax-Shanuel conjecture, have not only advanced mathematical theory but also demonstrated China's growing capacity for original research. Mok emphasizes the importance of international collaboration, talent returnees, and a shift toward fostering innovation over rote learning as key factors behind China's burgeoning mathematical community. His interest extends beyond pure mathematics to linguistics, art, and poetry, illustrating a holistic approach to intellectual development. Mok advocates for nurturing creativity and imagination in future mathematicians through interdisciplinary study and a free academic environment, believing that such a mindset will help China produce original, impactful scientific breakthroughs. His perspective underscores how China's strategic investments and international exchanges are positioning it as a global hub for pioneering mathematical research and innovation. The South China Morning Post reports that Hong Kong is actively advancing new subsidiary legislation to reinforce its national security framework amidst heightened U.S.-China tensions and a relatively subdued societal atmosphere. Officials emphasize the urgency of these measures, citing the complex geopolitical landscape and the need to prevent security risks from escalating. The legislation aims to designate the Office for Safeguarding National Security's premises as prohibited places and clarify the powers of the office, especially when handling serious cases. Experts warn that procedural clarity is crucial, particularly regarding the invocation of Article 55 of the National Security Law, which allows cases to be transferred to mainland China. While some officials suggest that the move is strategic, timed to avoid public backlash following the 2019 protests, others interpret it as a response to external pressures, notably from the U.S., which seeks to contain China's influence. The legislative process involves negative vetting, and there is ongoing debate over the scope and application of these laws, especially concerning jurisdiction and confidentiality measures, with concerns about their potential impact on judicial independence and procedural transparency. According to the South China Morning Post, Hong Kong's economic landscape could benefit significantly from fostering a thriving environment for multifamily offices, which serve multiple ultra-high net worth families and are poised to become a vital part of the city's financial ecosystem. Industry leaders advocate for diversifying focus beyond single-family offices, which have proliferated due to recent tax incentives and immigration policies, to include these institutional-grade entities that could generate greater GDP, employment, and international prestige. Despite their potential, multifamily offices remain underdeveloped in Hong Kong, with only a few hundred compared to thousands of single-family offices, highlighting an opportunity for growth. The CEO of Raffles Family Office emphasizes the importance of strategic expansion into new markets like Africa and the Middle East, as well as diversification into digital assets such as cryptocurrencies. The firm plans to double its workforce and host international symposiums, aiming to position Hong Kong as a global hub for sophisticated wealth management. This approach aligns with the city's broader ambition to strengthen its influence and resilience amid volatile markets and geopolitical uncertainties. The South China Morning Post also details China's recent white paper warning of a potential resurgence of Cold War-style conflicts in the Asia-Pacific, driven by external forces and complex regional disputes. Beijing underscores the importance of internal stability and unwavering adherence to the Communist Party's rule to counteract what it describes as ideological subversion and external interference. The document criticizes Western efforts to contain China through strategies like westernizing and dividing, and warns that unresolved territorial and maritime disputes could be exacerbated if external powers, including the U.S., continue to bolster alliances and deploy advanced missile systems in the region. Beijing firmly rejects the notion of a new Cold War, asserting that containment strategies are misguided and destined to fail. It emphasizes the importance of safeguarding sovereignty, particularly over Taiwan, Hong Kong, and other sensitive areas, and vows to oppose any attempts at division or independence. The paper also condemns efforts by other countries to promote universal values and democratic models that threaten China's political stability, while warning against the politicization of issues like natural disasters and public health, which could be exploited for geopolitical gains. Overall, China's stance reflects a resolve to maintain internal cohesion and regional influence amid a tense and uncertain global environment. According to South China Morning Post, Chinese pharmaceutical companies with inherent product and cost advantages are poised to remain resilient despite President Donald Trump's aggressive policies targeting drug pricing and manufacturing. The U.S. administration's efforts to lower drug prices, aiming to make medications in the U.S. as affordable as those in other high-income countries, have sparked fears of squeezed profits across the pharmaceutical supply chain and led to a decline in stocks of Chinese biotech firms like Innovent Biologics and Beijing. However, industry analysts believe that innovative therapeutics with proven efficacy, especially those challenging existing standards of care, will be largely immune to pricing pressures. Meanwhile, Chinese biotech firms that license out drug development rights could benefit from increased out-licensing opportunities. The U.S.'s push to reshore pharmaceutical manufacturing, driven by geopolitical risks and tariffs, is primarily targeting high-value, small-volume products like biologics and injectables, which are currently produced in Europe. While this reshoring could eventually erode China's role as a global manufacturing hub, the long lead times, often exceeding 7 years, mean that immediate impacts may be limited, although persistent trade tensions threaten China's position in the global drug supply chain. The Hong Kong-based South China Morning Post also reports on the rare and extraordinary bidding war over a 14th-century Chinese calligraphy scroll, which fetched 213.5 million Hong Kong dollars, 27.5 million US dollars, after a 95-minute auction at Sotheby's. Despite the overall downturn in Hong Kong's art market since 2021, this sale exemplifies how rarity, provenance, and the work's imperial history can still command extraordinary prices. The market's cautious outlook is reflected in recent results, with many collectors opting for works with strong provenance and fresh-to-market pieces, rather than heavily traded categories like imperial porcelain or contemporary art. Notable sales included a Qing dynasty vase last seen in 1977, which sold for 8.9 million Hong Kong dollars, and rare blue and white porcelain vases fetching over 70 million Hong Kong dollars each. Experts suggest that government measures, such as stricter import regulations in Europe, could help Hong Kong's antique market recover by positioning the city as an advantageous free trade hub, leveraging its logistical strengths amid global trade uncertainties. The SCMP opinion piece emphasizes the critical need for high standards and regulation within Hong Kong's counseling sector, especially as mental health concerns rise post-pandemic. With the increasing reliance on counselors to support individuals facing anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues, the absence of a statutory registration system poses risks of misconduct and abuse. A recent case involving a counselor expelled from the Hong Kong Psychological Society, yet rehired elsewhere, highlights the urgent need for transparent disciplinary procedures and legal safeguards. Advocates argue for establishing a statutory registration scheme and allowing professional bodies to disclose disciplinary actions publicly, thus enabling the public to make informed choices. Given the sensitive nature of the counselor-client relationship, particularly with minors and vulnerable populations, ensuring rigorous training, ethical standards, and oversight is essential to protect the public and restore confidence in mental health services. Strengthening regulation and transparency would be vital steps toward addressing Hong Kong's broader mental health crisis effectively. The South China Morning Post vividly recounts the inspiring yet challenging life of Mariska Hargitay, the beloved star of Law and Order, SVU. Despite her fame, Hargitay has endured profound personal trauma, including the loss of her mother Jane Mansfield at the tender age of 3 and later, her own battles with sexual trauma. Her resilience led her to establish the Joyful Heart Foundation, a sanctuary for trauma survivors, reflecting her desire to respond to others' pain with compassion and empowerment. The article also offers a captivating glimpse into her roots, revealing her father Mickey Hargitay's journey from Budapest to America, where he became Mr. Universe in 1955 and later a film actor, and her mother Jane Mansfield's rise as a 1950s Hollywood icon and Playboy playmate, whose tragic death in a car accident at age 34 left a lasting legacy. The Toronto Star provides a stark contrast, illustrating Ontario Premier Doug Ford's controversial push to establish special economic zones that threaten to dismantle democratic norms under the guise of economic protection. Ford's legislation aims to bypass environmental assessments and local regulations, reminiscent of China's Shenzhen model, which prioritized rapid economic growth at the expense of environmental and social safeguards. The article underscores the danger of unregulated development, especially in sensitive areas like the Ring of Fire, where indigenous rights and ecological integrity are at risk. Critics warn that Ford's move to concentrate power in the hands of the provincial government could lead to unchecked corporate influence, environmental degradation, and a betrayal of democratic principles, echoing China's controversial economic experiments and raising alarms about Ontario's future. The South China Morning Post also details Britney Spears' brother-in-law Jamie Watson's complex relationship with the pop star, highlighting his initial ignorance of Spears' fame and his deepening involvement in her tumultuous conservatorship saga. Watson, a businessman, married Spears' sister Jamie Lynn in 2014, and their relationship was marked by heartfelt moments of love and stability, especially through their daughter Ivy. However, his proximity to Britney's legal battles and her public criticisms of her family's role in her conservatorship cast a shadow over their bond. Britney's allegations that her family misused her funds, including payments to Watson's business, reveal the darker side of fame and family loyalty, illustrating how her personal struggles extended into her relationships and legal battles, ultimately exposing the complex web of trust, control, and betrayal surrounding her life. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.